Hi guys, I hope that you're having a wonderful Sunday. One of the most frequently asked questions that I get is how I clean my brushes. When I'm doing a freelance job, I will have anywhere from usually 3 to 10 people. It just depends on how big the bridal party is or if whatever the event is that I'm doing. Now, if it's 1 or 2 people, not that big of a deal. I just take enough brushes that each person has, an entire set of brushes. I don't have to clean in between because it would be almost impossible for me to actually do that. Because not only do you have to actually sanitize them, but then you have to let them dry, and that takes a long time. I'm sure, as most of you know that clean your brushes, it can take overnight for them to truly dry. So there was no way that I could have that amount of time when I have, 4, 5, 6, 8 more people to go. I have to be moving. So I used to take just a ridiculous amount of brushes, which would work out when I was doing the job, but then when I would get home, I would have 3, 4 hours ahead of me to clean, all of those brushes, and that quickly got old. I tried lots of different cleaners. Everything was really gimmicky. There were several different ones that were shaped like an egg. They didn't work at all. It was a complete waste of money. And then about 2 years ago, I saw Goss speak about something called the Styl Pro. And he demonstrated it, and I was like, I don't know, but I really, really trust him. So I went ahead and I ordered it. At that time, you could only order it from, I believe it was the UK. So shipping was a nightmare, and I believe, actually, I don't know how much I paid for it. I will check that and make sure that I insert it when I do my fantastic editing at the end of this video. So anyway, I looked into it, I ordered it, I got it, and I used it, and oh my gosh, this thing is a game changer. So I'm going to demonstrate for you guys how quickly and how thoroughly I can get the brushes cleaned using this Styl Pro. I recommend this. I couldn't recommend it enough. It is absolutely fantastic. I definitely use it at home on my own brushes because I literally hate hand cleaning brushes. So when it comes in the mail, you get this little box, and it gives you all kinds of information on the back, and of course it gives the directions, and it comes with Styl Pro Makeup Brush Cleanser. So what you do, it comes with this little fishbowl looking thing, and it has this, let me not drop that, it has a little plunger at the top, so you just place that in there and make sure that it's sealed, and then you take your cleaner. And one thing that I would absolutely recommend, because I have tried to use Cinema Secrets with this and it doesn't work, you truly do need to buy this makeup brush cleanser that they have, because it absolutely does what it says: deep cleaning, brush cleaner, and conditioner. And that is so important. When you have expensive brushes, you definitely not only want them clean, sanitized, but you definitely want to condition them. So I highly recommend that you do buy this from the company. You can get a discount when you first order it. I just order it in bulk. So I have a great big one over there, but for demonstration purposes, I just showed the little one. So what you do is just take this and you pour it in there, and you want about that much. So out of this bottle, I took it down to about right there. So probably about a third, I guess. And it would obviously depend on how many brushes you have to clean, how long this is going to last. But now if you're using this for personal uses, even a bottle that size is going to last you a really, really long time, because you wouldn't even need this much water. Now I'm going to show you how quickly I can clean all of these brushes. Right here, I think I have about, let's see, 3, I have about 30 brushes there. I'm not going to do all of them, but I will definitely show you how fast that it cleans them. And the amazing part is, it doesn't just clean them and sanitize them, but it dries them completely. And when I mean within seconds, you will see. So it comes with this little, I don't know, roundabout, whatever you would call this thing. It's a little holder, and it has different little rubbery guys, and what you do is just pull them off, and let me grab the one that I use the most right here. So you just pull off, it's all different sizes, so it'll fit, you know, any of your smaller blending brushes, your detail brushes, right up to your blush brushes. And as you can see, I grabbed some of the dirtiest ones that I have, including my Marc Jacobs foundation brush. I actually got this very, very dirty just so that I could show you. And it would go into the second largest one. And I'll do that at the end because that's the dirtiest one that I have. So just like when you're doing anything else, you definitely want to start with the ones that are the least amount, you know, that are the least dirty, and go to the ones that are the dirtiest as you go on. You may need to change the water. It just depends on how dirty your brushes are. So in general, you really should be cleaning your brushes at least once a week. If you have acne or acne-prone skin, I suggest cleaning them after every single use because the bacteria breeds so quickly, and when you're putting that right on your face, you're playing with fire if you have acne-prone skin. So I would suggest that you do it after every single use, even if it's just a spot clean. And this Japonesque makeup brush cleaner, and the one that I get is in citrus scent. Now, this is not a conditioner, but it is a antibacterial brush cleaner. You can get this at Ulta, you can get it on Amazon, and whatever. It's really, really good to use daily. And since you can just let your brushes sit out overnight because you're not going to be using them right away, it's not a big deal to be dry by the morning if you wash them at night. Otherwise, I would say about once a week is okay to really do a deep cleaning on your brushes if you're not acne prone. So it comes with this little guy right here. Ugh, I shouldn't have done this yet. Let me put this to the side. So it comes with this little thing, and it just says Styl Pro, and it has the inventor's name. It's Tom, we're gonna call him Tom P, because I can't pronounce his last name. So this little guy goes on just like that, and I already have one of the smaller ones on. So it actually comes just like this, okay? And then as you see, each of them have the little quad at the end, and it fits right in. So this is for the smallest of brushes, but I'm actually gonna show you how I do some of my blending brushes. So just take it and you stick it right on there. It does take two, I believe it's AA batteries. I don't know, I don't want to open it. I think it's 2 AA batteries. And then you, like I said, you fill up your little fish bowl here. And then you're just going to take these here. Since the fabulous Wayne Goss is whom I learned this from, let me find brushes by him. And of course, this is too big, naturally. So let me just take that off and put the other one back on here. All right. So, but as you can see, it's super fast. So you just stick that in there, and this is my Wayne Goss number 18. So you just place it right in there, and you'll feel it when it hits the bottom. And then what you want to do is take it and stick it into the bowl just to where it's hitting the water. And then you turn it on, and it's going to light up, and it's going to spin. And you don't want to get the ferrule wet, but believe it or not, it's pretty easy to keep from getting the ferrule wet because it creates this little, like a tornado, I would say, in there. And then you just want to bring it up and leave it inside there so that it shakes it off. And then I always hold it right by this black part right here. That way I can see if there's anything coming off of it. And there's not. It is completely dry. And I will even bring it up to the camera. You would be able to see if it were splattering any water. It is not. So then you turn it off and pull that out. And my brush is not only completely clean, but it is completely dry. You cannot feel anything. It's truly amazing. So what I'll do is I just like to sit my brushes into whatever little holder that I have. So I'll just sit it like that to the side. Now, if your brushes are stained, which mine are, anytime you use really pigmented shadows, your brushes are going to get stained. That does not mean that they are not clean and sanitized. If you can take them and wipe them on something white and nothing comes off, they are absolutely clean. And I've used this enough to know that that's the case. So I would just take my second one, do the exact same thing, stick it in there. You just really need a couple of seconds to run it through here. And then, like I said, bring it up. And then I bring it up a little bit higher to see if there's anything coming off. When there is not, turn it off. I pull it out, and this is the number 16, so this is a pretty big blending brush, and it's completely dry. So I would do that with all of my, excuse me, all of my blending brushes. Next, I'm going to go, let me find a bigger one so that I can show you. This is a, no, let me get a really dirty one. Here we go. This is my Real Techniques. There we go. This is a Real Techniques. It doesn't, oh, it says it's a setting brush. I actually use this for, focus, stop. I actually use this for contouring because it is like a perfect size for me to use right in the hollow of the cheek. So you just stick it in there, and then once again, you put it right back on top, right in there, and then you put it in here and turn it on. And this was pretty dirty. If you hit the bottom, it's gonna do like that, just like a washing machine would if something is off balance. So just lift it up a little bit and it'll be fine. You really just want to get it just touching the water because it will do the rest. And then you pull it up and let it dry off, turn it off, and it is completely clean. And that was covered. That was absolutely covered in contour. And as you can see, there's no powder coming off, and it is 100% dry. So set that to the side. And I will do one more here. Well, I'll do two more. Let me do a blush brush because this one is pretty gross and dirty. So you can see this is a very, very dirty. So let me find the right one, the right size. Probably that one? Yes. And sometimes if you get the wrong size rubber attachment, like the thing that holds it, it will be off balance too. So you might have to size up if that's a problem. And that may be the issue with this one. So again, I'm just going to take it and stick it right there, just right in the water, and turn it on. And you can see the water turning pink. Whoops, oh, I touched the bottom. Sorry. You can see the water's turning pink. And I'm going to let this one be in there just a little bit longer because it's pretty dirty. Let me see. We bring this up and let it dry. It really only takes a couple of seconds for this to dry, you guys. I'm going to bring it up and let it spin. And you saw how pink that was, and there, oh, that looks much pinker than what it is. But let me put it back in there for a second. It's probably stained, but it is completely dry. Let me just put it back in there for a second, though. I might have not left it in there long enough. And my water is getting pretty dirty already. But I intentionally, like, rubbed these in makeup before I did this demo because I really did want to show you just how much it would take off, like how clean it gets the brushes and how quickly it does it. So let me see now if that is better. And I'm holding it. There is nothing coming off of this. And if there's anything still on there, then it's definitely stained because, yeah, this is great. All right, so, ooh, jeez. All right, so it is completely dry. And you saw how very, very red that was, or pink, I guess would be the, but what I really want to show you is even down deep inside there, you can see it even got it all the way down inside. Let's see. Nothing is coming off of that. It is picking up a little bit of a pink hint, like hue to it, but there's nothing on it right here. It is completely dry, really, really soft, and it is clean all the way down to the ferrule. Remember, anytime you're washing your brushes, whether you're doing it by hand or using anything, any type, even with this, whatever it is, you never want to get the ferrule wet, because if you do, that glue that's in there, it's going to release all of these bristles. Now, especially with a brush like Wayne Goss's, these brush hairs are actually put in there like one at a time. They are placed exactly the way that they need to be so that you get that perfect taper or blending or whatever, if it's more of a placement brush or whatever it might be. They are put in very specific. So you never ever want to get the ferrule wet. If you do, you're going to ruin your brushes. And when you spend this kind of money on brushes, shoot, even if you're spending it on Real Techniques or Eco Tools, whatever it might be, if you're spending money on brushes, you don't want to just ruin it by getting the ferrule trashed. So I'm going to do one that everybody would know. This is the Anastasia A23, and I'm going to put that in there. And I have used this for highlighter, and I'm just going to stick it in there real quick. And again, you don't want to get the ferrule. And then I'm going to bring it up and let it dry. And it's going to be dry already. It is, and it is perfectly clean. There is nothing in there whatsoever, and it is so soft. So after I wash it, I'll just kind of take my fingers through it right that, just to kind of reshape it, and then take it out. Jeez, Pete's, it's really in there. Okay, and then sit it upright until I go to put it back into my portfolio, which I will do right after I'm finished anyway. So for my final brush, I'm gonna use, actually let me show you. I'm going to do my Marc Jacobs. Now, right now, it is filthy, and it feels gummy. It's got foundation way down inside those brushes. This is a very, very dense brush. It's actually one of my very favorite foundation brushes. I use beauty blenders 90% of the time, but when I'm using a foundation brush, this is absolutely my favorite, and I believe it's the Face 2. It is. The Marc Jacobs Face 2. This is an excellent brush. It applies foundation like a dream. You don't ever want to go like that. You want to, I'll show you that in another video. I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, I put that on there. Let me pull this off. And then just stick this right back in there. And then this right on here. And this is really about as heavy of a brush as you want to use with this. It's honestly, it's really, really good for all your blending brushes and everything, but I truly wanted to show you just how clean it would get it. But to do so, I'm actually gonna go change the water real fast, so I will be right back. So I went and I washed it. It's clean and dry. I went ahead and dried it out and everything just so that you could see. And then I'm gonna put actually just a tiny little bit in there for this, just enough that I know that I'm gonna be able to cover that. So I'm gonna pour it in there. And then after I'm finished with the demonstration, I am gonna go ahead and finish cleaning my brushes anyway that I've been using for the week. And this morning I had a trial bright and early, so I had a few brushes that I needed to clean anyway. So I'm going to take it, and remember, I showed you how dirty this was, so we're gonna put it in there. And with these brushes, I like to just kind of touch it in there and really let it get, I mean, you can see how filthy this brush is. It is really, really dirty. And I'm gonna turn it on. And as you can see, it is definitely gonna struggle with this because this is a very heavy brush. Like I said, this is about as heavy as you wanna get. So I'm gonna let it go through there for a minute. Look at it. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty clean already, actually. thought I was going to need to put a little bit more in there, but I definitely am not going to need to do so. I just want to show you real fast. Look at how clean that already got it. So what I'm going to do is let it spin out. Oh, I just got the camera wet. It obviously wasn't finished drying off, but you can see that it is bringing off all the extra water inside here. Whoop, don't do that. But you can see where it's spinning and putting all the water in there, or taking all the water off. And because of the size of this brush, it's going to take a little bit longer. And it may not get this one completely dry just because of the size of it. But I'm going to bring it out to the side here and just really let it spin. Okay. Turn it off. Pull it out of the little thingy here. Don't drop it. That's dumb. Okay. So, I'll show you. It is still what I would, it's damp. It's not wet. I mean, it's definitely not wet, or it would be throwing water everywhere, but it's still damp. So what I would want to do is when I'm doing these kind of brushes, I actually prefer for them to hang this way when they're not completely dry. So I have a little thing that I actually made where I have one of those little tension, what are they called? Curtain hangers. And then I just put little loops that are on it. Actually, they're kind of like the little round things that you put on the actual rod. What am I trying to say here? You know what I'm talking about. The round things that you put the curtains on. So not like an actual rod, but like the round one. So it would be like this. So it's kind of like this. And then I have the little loops that go like that. And then I just put little Velcro around it. And I will just Velcro right around this. And then it'll hang from the rod just like this. So that's what I will do with all of the brushes that are like this size. That's how I will do it. But as you can see, clean all the way down to the inside. And all of the other ones are completely dry. So that is how I clean mine. I will make sure that I put all the prices in there for you. I could do, you know, if I'm not sitting here talking, explaining things, goofing off, of course, I'm terrible at filming anyway, so, but when I'm just sitting down and I'm really going through and cleaning my brushes, I can clean about 50 brushes in a half an hour. And clean, dry, condition the whole thing, hang them if they're, you know, these larger sized brushes, or sit them upright for my smaller brushes. I just make sure that I put them into something like this until I'm ready to put them back in my portfolio. So that is how I clean my brushes. I highly recommend this. I will check the price and make sure that I insert that in there. And if I find any other details or anything about it, I will try and add that in the little words or whatever when I finish the filming. So thank you guys so much. Again, I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Remember, there are no such thing as a disability, only different abilities. I love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.